Hi guys, Joy Williams, Executive Master Educator for Farouk Systems, and today I have my beautiful friend Brandy here with me.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Brandy Burgess, Creative Master Educator with Farouk Systems. We are so happy to share with you Chapter 8 of the new T Cosmetology book.
So excited.
Yes, the Artistry of Hairstyling. And
Absolutely.
I will let Joy take over.
Awesome. Thank you, Brandy. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. We don't have a whole lot of time with you guys today. So it truly is an art. I love doing all of the newest trends and techniques, especially when it comes to doing pageant hair or weddings, updos, that type of stuff. How many of you guys have seen these beautiful kind of cascading curls, updos? And they look kind of gathered together, but it looks like your client has to have a whole lot of hair, or you just really want to be able to do that updo, but people may not be able to have the volume. So I'm going to show you how to get that, regardless of whatever length or volume your client's hair is, in a few easy steps, okay? Using some of my favorite cheap products and tools. You guys excited? I'm excited. So I've gone ahead and prepped Miss Ashley here. Hi, Ashley. How are you, love?
Good, thank you.
Good, good. Thank you for being here. Isn't she gorgeous? So what we're going to do, as you can see, I've already have a little bit of prep work in here. I'm going to go in and start sectioning off, okay? Now, you see these gorgeous little curls back here? Well, we've got some texture, we've got some movement, we've got some body, that type of thing. And most of the time we look at an updo and we think, okay, it just needs to have some curls. Well, there's different types of curls. That's what I love about Chapter 8, is that we speak about that. So one of our types of curls, I have a few visuals here for you guys to see because you know I love visuals. So we talk about parts of a curl where you have the stem, you have the base, you have the circle of the curl. So the base is going to be right here closer to the scalp. That's going to give us our movement and our foundation in the hair. Then we have the stem, which is directly in between the base and the circle of the curl, okay? That's what's going to give us direction. So here, I want some lift, I want some volume, so my stem is going up. That means my curl is going to go up. If my stem is going down, my curl is going to go down. Left or right, my stem is going to give me direction, okay? And then we have the actual circle of the curl, which you can see in there. That's what actually creates the actual curl, okay? So we've got a few types of curls here that we have going on. Now, some of the curls that I'm going to create are going to be on-base and off-base curls. What you notice about on-base and off-base curls, for example, this curl right here, we just talked about the base, right? So that's right on top of my curl. That's going to give me maximum volume. I'd use it with a thermal curl, my thermal styler, my Durachi iron, which I love and use all the time with weddings. You see she's a little dirty. She's a little bit worked, I'll say that. And I love creating those beautiful on-base curls with that because it gives me the lift and volume that I need. Down here, you see there's not as much volume at the root. There I did off-base curls. So I used my stem with a no stem curl, and then we used the circle part for the base, for the bottom. So that's going to give us movement and that type of stuff because the majority of my texture with this updo is going to be right in the back, okay? So we've gone ahead and started with our sections. My first section, of course, is going to be right here, right at the top of her eyebrow, over to the next side. That's going to give me my beautiful Hollywood kind of bang, a little flow like what I have. And then we are going to do our teasing. Now, you know I'm from Houston. Guys, let us know where you're from, where you're watching from. I'd love to hear where you guys are from. I'm in Houston, which is in Texas, and we love big Texas hair. So what we're going to do is create some volume right here with a little bit of teasing. These next sections in the back, we'll go ahead and incorporate those in the style as we go, okay? So as I've said, I've already done a little bit of teasing with our back comb brush. This brush is gold. I love this brush. So I'm able to really go in and give myself a little bit of teasing. I created a sort of diamond shape section. So you see that, right? What that's going to do at the top of this triangle, the top of this diamond, it's going to flow all the way across and give me that nice movement where it's not super flat on her head. So that's what we want. So I've already created that. Keeping it nice and simple. So what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and section out. Now this section here, you see either side of my triangle here, the point, I'm gonna take a section here from the lower crown to the nape area, bring that over, take a section here, same part, lower crown to the nape. Bring that down, all right? Let me straighten up my lines here. I always want to make sure that you're working in nice, clean sections. I'm going to go ahead and clip those guys out of the way. So now I'm focused on these two sections, okay? How many of you guys have ever done updos? If you have, you know that elastics are your best friend. So we are going to use an elastic to help us create this look. My hair's a little thick, so I may go ahead and double that. Okay? So I'm going to take an elastic right in between my fingers, and we're going to go ahead and put this into a ponytail. All right? So I'll just put it in right underneath. Make sure I have my section separated out. Now I'm going to bring it up because I don't want to disturb what I've done here. Bring it back down, tie it around, okay? Also, I'm able to go in and kind of pull that out, right? Give myself some volume. There we go. Okay, so we have that sectioned out with the elastic. As you see, when I'm going, I'm always smoothing because I like to fight the frizz during my style, not after. So I'm going to use one of my favorite sprays, Ultimate Control from our Raw Treatment line. What I love about this spray is that it gives incredible shine. It's a nice working spray, so I can use it as I'm going. Like I said, I'm using it to kind of smooth and give a little shine here. But the thing that I love about it is that you can layer it on. So what you're doing is the more you're layering on the spray, the more control you get, hence Ultimate Control, right? The more firm, more control you get. So now I've married these two sections. I have my ponytail and I have my sort of mohawk section. Now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do a braid. So braids are such a huge part of updos now. Everyone wants braids. What I'm gonna do is a fishtail braid, but you could do a 3-strand braid if you don't know how to do a fishtail. You could do a Dutch braid. I'm just gonna do a really quick fishtail braid, that's taking the two sections. We're just gonna cross over. Don't worry about this elastic. I promise you it's gonna be covered. We're just gonna cross that right over. All right? And then as I go down, I'm gonna take more hair and cross it over. Again, being aware of making my sections very clean. Take a little bit of hair from the scalp, a little bit of hair from that ponytail. You see why that gave us such a good anchor? And cross that over. Same thing again. Scalp, a little bit from that ponytail, cross over. Guys, as you're watching, if you have questions, please ask. I love questions. That's how we learn. So make sure that if you have any questions, let us know. We'll try our best to answer either live during or especially after when we get a chance to really read through them. We'll definitely be sure to answer those questions for you. All right, so now I've gotten the braid in at this point. So now what we're doing is I'm gonna just go ahead and just fishtail this real quick all the way down. This is gonna provide us a base and an anchor for the rest of our style, okay? So this is why I say it doesn't really matter what type of braid it is or what it looks like, because most of this is gonna be covered up. This is gonna give us, like I said, a nice base and anchor. Once we get to the bottom of our style, then we'll be able to see a little bit more, which is why I'm going ahead and braiding a little bit further down. But up in this middle section, that's gonna be covered. So I'm gonna secure this with another elastic right at the bottom. Okay, easy so far, right? Easy peasy. So we have our section here that's been backcombed. We have our braid. Now, before I go to my next section, I'm just gonna take that and loosen it up because we don't want a super tight braid. We wanna have a little movement in there. The thing I love about updos as well is that they're gonna get the messier it looks like, the better, right? So I'm really able to do that. Now, guess what? We're almost done. So from here, I'm gonna take my pliable polish. Now I love using this. It gives my hands a little bit of slip. It also gives shine and texture. So I'll take a little bit of that on my hands. And we'll take a section here. The rest of the style, guys, is literally just twisting and pinning, okay? So I'm gonna take a little bit of my pliable polish on my hands. Let me comb that out. I'm not liking that frizz. And again, in doing updos, one of my tips, address the frizz as you're going. Don't try to speed past it, and then at the end, you have all this frizz that you're trying to get rid of, okay? So just kind of address the frizz as you're going. Now what you notice that I'm doing is I'm literally twisting it around my fingers. We can all do that, right? We used to do it in school. Just twist it around our fingers. And I lightly pull on it because I want to give myself some volume. Okay, you can do a couple of things. You can pull it. You can take one little strand and do it. Look how beautiful of a curl that created. Okay, this is what we did of all of our prep work at first, so we could be sure to have those. So I'm going to just take this, go up under my pin, and then just pin it right in place. Actually, I like these pins a little bit better, especially for her hair. Here's the other thing. A bobby pin is closed and has grip for a reason. Don't open it, okay? It's gonna give us nice grip as I'm going in with my style and just really helping me to pin this right into my braid. Got it? Okay, next section, same thing. I'll go a little faster now that you guys have gotten that concept. We can move a little faster. I can move. I still have a little pliable polish in my hand, so I don't need to add a whole lot more. Go ahead and twist that up really quickly. Loosen that twist up as I'm going. And I'm just going to pin. There's no super rhyme or reason. Like I said, the more imperfect it looks, the better, especially because we're going to create a nice, soft, romantic style. If these little curls fall down, that's totally fine. No worries. I'm going to incorporate them a little bit lower into the style. So no worries about that. We're going to go ahead and take another section here. Do the same thing. Twist. And as you notice, I'm picking up hair until I get to the braid. And then from there, I'm just taking it and twisting it. So we'll take that, loosen that up really nicely. Another little trick is to take a little end and just kind of bunch it up. That works as well. You see how it looks really soft, but it's not going anywhere. It's very secure. That's what I love about using the pins, using the bobby pins the way that they're supposed to be used, and also just using these twists and creating this beautiful sort of texture in there. Feel like you see a couple pins showing? No worries. Just cover them up. I'll take that again. Twist that. Now you guys see all the texture that we're creating. Look at all this texture down here. I want this as I'm going. There we go. Yeah? Okay. So the rest of this is just going to be a series of twisting and pinning. What I want to do is leave just a little bit of wispies out. I like wispies. I like even saying wispies. So we're going to leave a few of those little wispies out. I'll take a little bit of this and pin that up. We can even spray that in a second. I like those. This is a soft romantic look, so let's have a little fun around the face, yeah? So we're gonna take that I'll section that off into two. Twist and pin. Pull my twist out. Pin that down. Now, this is a great look, like I said, for anyone, no matter if they don't have a lot of length and volume. Miss actually has beautiful length and volume to her hair, but with twisting, you're creating an illusion that there's more hair than there is. So you're really able to use this on just about anyone who has any sort of kind of length to their hair. Now, if they have a bob, may not necessarily so. However, if they even have a little bit of length, you're really able to get this nice, beautiful style with this look. We have a question. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Would you recommend using hairpins, and can you explain the difference between hairpins and bobby pins?
Yes. So I like using hairpins as well. The bobby pins, I start off using them for the security. The hairpins, I like to go in and use so that I have volume and it's not so stuck to the hair. So thank you for the question, Cynthia, for sure. So the difference between bobby pins and hairpins, bobby pins are going to give us grip, hairpins give us placement. So for example, if I want to go in and I have a little bit of a curl that I just kind of want to slightly place somewhere, instead of a bobby pin, I may take this curl, put it where I want it to be, and place it in there, right? And then that didn't give me too much disturbance to my actual style. So, but if we are using a bobby pin, then I'm gonna get the grip that I want. So now that I've got bobby pins in there, so now I have the grip. You see how secure that was? I'll take that and just tuck it in. I've got that bobby pin in there, I've got that braid in there, that gave me grip. So really, I love that question, but yeah, you can go back and forth between the two and it gives you a lot of movement. So I'm gonna leave this down for now. We're gonna go ahead and get started on the front. I'll leave a few wispies out here as well. So like I said, we left those on base curls. Hopefully that answers your question. Let me know if it did. So I love this sort of look here. We'll first just kind of pull it out, see where the curls are going. Look at all that movement and shine, right? So I'll take a little bit of my ultimate control here. I'm not quite ready to seal that down, so I'll keep using my working spray. But at this point, we're gonna bring this up into our style. All right? So I'm gonna lightly go over this. Just kind of comb it right in my hands. And look at that. This is what I love about doing these beautiful on-base thermal curls. As I'm curling, look how it's falling. And I can just separate that, right? So that's giving me nice movement and body in that curl, yeah? So now I'll go in. Maybe I'll start to place this with the hairpin right on top of my curl here. Just to kind of see where I want my placement, because remember, your hairpins are going to give you placement. Your bobby pins will give you security, okay? So we'll grab, so we've done the hairpin for placement. Now I want to use my bobby pin and just go in for security. I just want to smooth that out. We'll curl these two little pieces here, our little wispies there. Yeah? You guys thinking so far? So I like that. We have this look here. I want to bring a little bit of volume in here. Just a little bit more coverage. Yeah? Okay, so I can go back in, say for example, I have these two little guys that are kind of falling. I can go back in, just twist them back into the fold. There we go. All right, so now we have all of this texture, all this movement in the back. We have our little braid down there, yeah? So now I can do a few things. I can continue to twist and pin because she's got beautiful curls and she's got some length. I can continue to twist and pin and just go ahead and bring this all the way down the braid. I can take this section, once I twist it, I can curl it up into a nice updo. There's a few things that I can do with this section. So it just really depends on, this part is where your creativity comes in. This is the part where, you know, you kind of consult with your client and just ask them how they would like it to look. Yes.
Rhonda asked, is this a style that volume powder can use and that she loves it so much?
Absolutely, yes. Volumizing powder, absolutely. In my prep, we actually use the BioSilk Volumizing Therapy Powder right in the teasing area. Again, what I love about it is you can see I can push it down and it bounces right back up. So it gives me that volume without being sticky, without using like a hairspray and making it so sticky. I'm able to still get that volume that I want. So yes, I love our volumizing powder, texture powder, for sure. So we can go in, I'll go ahead and secure this section here. And we're just about wrapping up. So we'll take a few small sections here. Like, let me take that out. So now I go in and just do detail work, right? So I go in, I take my bobby pin, stick it right in where I want it to be, maybe pin it right there, yeah? Do another pin, give myself some security. Now I have this little curl from the front. I can take a hairpin with that and stick that right over. I was lacking a little bit of volume right in that area, but that fixed that, yeah? Pull that out. Now, those that know me know that I'm a little bit of a flower child. So we'll do a little bit more detail work off camera, but I thought just to kind of finalize this beautiful style, we'll throw a little bit of baby's breath in there. Now this is gonna be perfect for a wedding, an outside event, some sort of formal occasion. And so now we're able to just go in and add those few little pieces of baby's breath, really accentuate those curls. Yeah? Awesome. So we'll go ahead and have you show. Like we said, we'll do a little bit more styling off camera, but look at that. Look how gorgeous it turned out. And it's a style that you can do anytime. Nice, beautiful updo.
One last question.
Okay, one last question before we have Brandy come up.
Which is the best tea hairstyling iron and which products do you suggest for shine?
So absolutely, I would say our curling irons are the best. Our Dorchi curling iron is awesome. That's what I use to create this style today. Also, guys, we have the volcanic lava. The lava irons, you got to go out and get these irons. I'm going to get mine, okay? They have volcanic technology. They give nice shine. They give sleekness, and they'll give you long-lasting curls that last all day long. So I love those. As far as shine, everything in our line has shine. What I love to use is the Royal Treatment line. We also have, I don't know if I have it up here, but we have our shine spray with the Royal Treatment, which is awesome. I love to use that even on my body. It gives beautiful shine. Yeah, so we have that, create that look. All right, so now that we've done this look, we'll do a little bit more detail work off camera. I'm gonna have my beautiful friend Brandy come in and show you some of her updo techniques. Come on, Ashley.
Okay, this is Madeline, our beautiful model. We have already gone in and curled her and got this kind of prepared, but I did leave a little bit for you. Thank you, Joy, for that beautiful model that you did. You created a gorgeous look. I loved what she did. And today I'm gonna share with you one of my favorite romantic updos. This is gonna be super simple. This is gonna be for your everyday person. It could be for a bride, a bridesmaid, it could be for prom, but however, it could also be for something as simple as a Christmas party or an elegant dinner. So this is gonna be very easy for a stylist as well. It's gonna be a lot of repetitive techniques. So I left this here. This is the only section I did not curl because I wanted to tell y'all that I do use the DuraChi iron. And I kind of just wanted to show y'all a little bit of back brushing as well. I know that Joy did this, but our client has a thinner hair texture. And so to get this volume, this style doesn't necessarily need curl, but the reason I did decide to go through and curl it is to give her some body and to add some extra texture. So I'm gonna go in here. You could use the texturizing powder. You could use hairspray. You can use dry shampoo on someone with a thinner hair if you didn't want to use a hairspray, but I'm gonna go ahead and use our Deep Brilliance Flexible Hold Hairspray. What I love about this hairspray is it has olive oil and manoi oil, so it's gonna give you lots of shine. It's gonna be very workable and reworkable. So if I was to mess up and I needed to go back and brush back through it, I'm gonna be able to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just spray a little bit underneath the crown. And using our back combing brush as well, I'm gonna come in here and just lightly back brush. Now, where I do this, I need to go back on top and smooth, because with her having such fine hair, you will see every detail. So in order to prevent that, I need to go back in and just be sure and smooth that back out. And like I said, the spray is workable, so it makes it, even though I can still feel it in here, it's not hard to come back in and pick up a section and still work with. Okay, so with this leftover section, I am gonna go ahead and use my DuraChi as I did throughout the rest of her hair. And you don't need to have tight curls. This, like I said, this is just for extra body, and so that the ends in the style are not just straight. You don't want them to be like, you want them to have some curl or body and look nice and flowy for this romantic style. So come in here and just curl these last few pieces. And actually, I'm just gonna show y'all, but I did already spray her hair with our Deep Brilliance Flexible Hold, but just for example, I just kind of sprayed over it for you guys. But I don't go through with her having such fine hair and spray every piece. I really just spray the section. And with her having processed hair, I would not use your iron at more than 350, because blonder hair that has been lightened, it tends to be more brittle, and we just don't want to damage the hair. And I could let it sit longer if I needed, but really, like I said, I don't need a whole lot of curl here. I just need some body. Okay. So from here, what we are gonna do is we are going to part the hair into 4 sections, but I don't want to disturb her curl, so I'm just going to lightly section this off. However, I'm coming from the middle parting down to the top of the ear, and this is, I'm just going to pull it to the front and just twist it out of the way, and then do the same on the other side. And I've already kind of created my crown area here, so I don't want to disturb that. And again, I'm parting from the crown to the top of the ear. Okay, now in this section, I'm going to come here and just split it down the middle, but I do not want to have a defined part, because like I said, we don't want to disturb this. We've already kind of created our effect of having some volume in this root, so I don't want to go through and section out a true middle part. What I do is just kind of come close to the nape of the neck, and I'm just going to part it out just a tad, just to kind of separate it. It doesn't have to be a true line. And from here, what I'm going to do is now, this is going to be out of the way for a moment. Actually, let me pin it out so y'all can have a better look. Okay, so we're just going to pin this out of the way. Now with the remaining hair in this section, I'm going to slice this in half, trying not to disturb the crown too much. Sorry. Okay, and I'm going to kind of smooth this back out as I go. And I'm going to pin this out of the way. Now, this is where it gets fun. I'm going to take some elastic bands to create this look. And with this entire section right here, I'm going to put it into an elastic band. However, I don't want it to be super tight and I don't want it to be too loose. I'm going to come in just right about here and I'm going to wrap my band. Okay, from here, what I'm going to do is splice it with my finger from underneath, take the hair and tuck it in a downwards motion and pull it through the hole. This is what it's going to look like. However, from here, I'm going to squeeze it and then just slightly plume it. And you can repeat this process as many times. This is where your artistry comes out, your creativeness is going to come out, and you decide how you want it to look. Now, I'm going to take another band halfway down the mid shaft and repeat this. Maybe not quite halfway because her hair is thinner, so you kind of have to judge. Every person's hair that you work with is going to be completely different. So I practiced this exact do on a friend of mine. She had a lot thicker hair, so I started a lot further down the mid shaft. But with her having thinner hair, I want my plumes to be nice and pretty. You may even decide to do a third pony down here, which just for sake being, just to show you, I'm going to go ahead and do it on the bottom section. I'll go ahead and do a third pony on this one. And I'm going to splice it through the middle, pull in a downward motion, and plume it, and then squeeze it again. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing on the other right back quadrant. I'm going to cut it in half, or part it in half. I'm sorry, I'm not cutting it. And we are just going to pin this out of the way without disturbing the little curl she has. And again, I'm going to take an elastic and go not too tight and not too loose. Create the ponytail. Run my finger through the top, through the bottom, I'm so sorry. Splicing it, tucking it, and pulling it through in a downward motion. Then I will plume it. You can plume as many times as you need and squeeze as many times as you need to create your look. Again, I'm going to go make my second pony. I hope y'all can see okay. I'm splicing it from underneath, tucking it, pulling it down, and squeezing it. Then coming in here and pluming. Again, everyone's hair is different, so you are going to judge based off of your client and your chair's hair. But this is a fun look. Okay, I am going now to my top sections, and I'm going to go ahead and let both of these sections down. And just make sure my crown is smooth, because this is still going to help create the look, so you need to be mindful of you don't want to mess up your crown. So if you have a bunch of unnecessary pieces there, you just kind of want to smooth them down at that moment. So what I'm going to do is divide this in half, but I am not going to leave like I said, I'm not coming from the top and doing a direct part. I'm just going to come right here in the middle, work my way, and do a loose part just to separate it a little bit. From here, I will do the same thing. I'm going to add just a tad bit more volume because as you go, you notice and you see where you can use a little extra volume. So I'm going to come in there and back brush some more. Okay. And the great thing about these brushes is they do have this tail on the end of them where you can come in here and fix what you see fit. Okay, and we don't need this to be perfect. Like Joy said, sometimes the messier we have these looks and styles, that's like in style. It's okay, that's what we do. It actually sometimes turns out better because we don't want nobody is into the perfect, well, some people, but most people are not into the perfect style these days. They want kind of that messy boho or romantic look. That's just what's in right now, so it's okay. And again, with the ends of the hair, it's already been sprayed with a Deep Brilliance flexible hold. Another thing I love about the Deep Brilliance flexible hold is that it is going to help you with fighting against environmental factors such as humidity. We are in Texas over here, and humidity plays a big factor in all of our hairdos. So we definitely want to be able to send our client out reassured that they're going to be protected from the humidity. So feel free to tuck as needed. I'm going to do the same thing over here, tease a little bit on the side for volume. And create my pony. And when you're in the salon, you may want to take your wedding ring off because mine keeps getting caught in her hair a little bit. So I've made this pony now on this side, and you can come in and pull or plume however you feel is needed to create your look. I'm going to splice from underneath again and tuck in a downwards motion and squeeze. I've kind of created a little bit of bubbling, but that is okay. Like we said before, you can tuck some pieces back in as needed, and this is part of that messy look. So it is going to be fine. We're going to go ahead and continue with our elastic bands down, but on the crown area, I'm actually only going to do 2 ponies in this section. I'm going to go ahead and go almost halfway down the mid shaft and splice, tuck, and pull, and then we will squeeze it and plume. So it's just a repetitive technique that you're taking and going around the head with. Oh, I said I was only going to do 2. Okay, I want you to see the difference in what you can do when there's 2 ponies versus 3. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do 2 this time versus 3 on the crown area. Okay, I'm splicing, tucking it in a downward motion, squeezing, and pluming. Okay, we're moving to the front, and as we come in here, we're going to continue to do the same. However, if you really wanted to, you could leave this out and just create your swoop, pin, and then create your look. I'm just going to leave out a little bit of her fringe, not fringe, just the little wispies that she has around her face. She doesn't really have a true fringe, so we decided to go ahead and pull that back. And you can play with this. So like I said, you could, if you did not want to create a pony here and just pin it as you go, you can do that and maybe do a pony on one side to create the, it kind of gives this just plumed faux braid, I guess is what you would call it. So with this pony, I'm actually going further down because I don't want it to be too tight. I do want to have a loose, nice, romantic style in here. And I'm just going to slightly tighten this elastic and slightly plume because this is going to be the creation around the sides. On that, I could either do one more pony or leave it out because the artist in you is going to decide what looks best to you. You may, and actually on this side, I'm not even going to do a pony just so y'all can see. I'll go ahead and leave so you can see the difference on each side, but it's still going to be beautiful because every style you do is your masterpiece, it's your creation, and it is okay. So I'm going to, let me get my pens ready. Okay, let me turn you around. So with the side, I'm just going to kind of bring it back. But before I get onto this, I'm gonna, as I'm looking at it, and this is where we decide what we're gonna do with the style, I think I'm gonna go ahead and begin my pinning and leave these two out for last. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look and create, and I'm gonna begin to pull, pin, and tuck. And as you can see, this is gonna create what you make of it. And so I'm just gonna analyze the situation and see where I want to begin. Be an artist. That's what we are. We are all artists, and it is okay to play. Have fun with your job. So I am just taking sections and saying, okay, that looks pretty right there. I'm going to go ahead and pin that. I like the way that looks. And as I do this, I am coming up with my final outcome. And with the ends that are left out, we're going to decide, do we want to tuck those? Do we want to turn them into a pin curl? That's part of the design. So I'm just pinning away as we go. Does anybody have any questions? Again, this is a very easy updo for all stylists, especially if you didn't have a curling iron. This would be, if you were trying to create a look on someone and you didn't have hot tools, this would be a go-to look that you could use, that you wouldn't necessarily need to have that curling iron on. At the moment, I'm using bobby pins, and I will go back in with hairpins as needed. Okay, so this is where I'm going to begin to decide. Do I want to tuck it? Do I want to make a pin curl? What am I trying to create? And if you don't like the way it turns out, take it down and redo it. And that's what I'm about to do. So there we go. Just gonna redo that one, and it is okay. Thank you, Cynthia. Oh my gosh, I miss you. See you soon, hopefully. So this is where I have just some strands, but I don't want to push down this curl too much. So I'm going to come in with my hairpin and just slightly pin it through. And let me create here. This is where I'm trying to figure out, what do I want to do with this? Do I want to tuck it? Do I want to pin it? Okay. All my bobby pins and hairpins are starting to snag on each other. Okay, so I'm going to pin this out of the way. I'm just working the creation that I have, and that is what you will do too. And actually, so I have this long piece, and as I'm sitting here playing with it, I think I'm going to go ahead and add one more pony to it and plume it. Okay, so I'm going to splice it again in the middle. Make sure you have a clean splice, otherwise when you go to tuck, it's going to get tangled and caught up. But see how now I have this extra just rosy oomph than just a straight piece. So I can continue to squeeze it and plume it as many times as needed. And I still have a lot of hair left, so actually let's just go ahead and see the effect with one more pony.
Jason says, can't wait to see the finished product. Looking good.
Awesome.
Cynthia says, I love the low profile and the low focus.
Yes, me too. Like, I think that is just what people are looking for these days. It's just a style, and it's a great style because it makes it easy on us because it doesn't have to be perfect and it's not slicked back, and I love it. I love that everybody's into just kind of like a messy updo, you know? And thank you, Jason. Okay, so this created just some extra pluming, and now I'm just trying to decide my placement. Do I want to go under? Do I want to go over? And I think I'm going to go under with it. Okay. Now with this, I can create a pin curl with what's left over. But I think I'm going to start with this first, right here in the middle. I'm going to do my pin curl. I'm doing a half of a pin curl, not a full, just because her hair is so long. And I actually like the way it looks with the pieces hanging, some of it just loosely out, but I am going to get rid of that for today. And you can tuck. When you see some like just little tails that want to hang out, tuck it away. And like I said, I use that flexible hold hairspray, so if I needed to take a piece out and redo it, it's not going to hurt a thing. And sometimes you just don't clip it just right. Okay, there we go. This one I'm trying to decide how to create my curl. There we go. Oops, that did not work for me. Okay. Now, I still have, if you remember, this section that we never did a pony on. So with this being said, I'm just going to leave a couple of the little wispies out and begin to pin it in to make it work. I hope y'all love just the simplicity of this style. I do. I think it's just something different. And you don't have to be a braider to do something like this. Like, I love that Joy's style had the braid for a base. I think that is such a great idea. Never thought of that. However, I'm not a great braider. So this gives me something else to offer. Aw, thank you. I can't wait to meet you either. I'm so glad y'all are liking it. It's definitely, you know, different. But I just, like I said, I'm really into these styles right now. Okay, so here is her look. I'm gonna come in here and just see, what do I need to pull out some? Look how pretty that is. So again, like Joy, I'm gonna go backstage and just kind of finalize some touches for her, but I think this is beautiful. I love this do. It's very bohemian style. Just a great relaxed look. And again, this could be even used, even if you wanted to go to the Renaissance Festival, you could play this down and sell this to your clients as even just a style for a costume or for a Christmas dinner, or your beautiful bridesmaid. You could add some of the baby's breath, just as Joy did. There's some spots through her hair, and then it really just gives you that nice, wild flower child look. And I'm loving it, and so I hope y'all do too.
That looks so beautiful, Brandy. Oh my gosh,
Thanks.
I love all the pin curls, and yes, this is so boho chic. I love it.
So fun, yes.
I love it. I love it.
Your
So,
model as well. Beautiful,
thank you.
beautiful.
So we did a few little finishing touches with our Rapid Shine in our Royal Treatment line. So we'll go ahead and have you turn around as well, and then have her turn.
Yes, and as you know, she's using the Royal Treatment line. I am using the Chi Deep Brilliance line. They also have a sheen spray that we will use to smooth this down as we go.
Awesome, awesome. Well, good job.
Yay, high five! See, some fun, dudes.
We had so much fun today. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you learned some things. Continue to ask your questions. We'll continue to answer them. Again, my name is Joy Williams with Farouk Systems.
I'm Brandy Burgess with Farouk Systems, and with the right tools and the right products and techniques, you can create any look.
Absolutely. See you later.
Yay!
Bye.